fell by the wayside, babe. Just trying to get out of this place. Can't forget the words you'd say about being a better man. Did we try to move too fast? Seem to make a good thing last, and you'll always be in my head. Now you got me down bad, thinking you'd be my last. Now I'm just here on my own. Now we're just strangers. Just strangers again. Your face ain't fading away, all the memories inside of my brain. Remember the nights we laid in your bed, we talked for hours. Thought you were the one for me, you'd never be a memory. Now I see a ghost in my bed. Did we say goodbye too soon? You know I still run to you. Didn't see us falling apart, and now we're just
So I've really been trying to knock a lot of things off my places to go list. So I have a list in my notes app of places to go. So when you recommend something or I see something online, I put it in there, and I've got, different states, north, south. And this one's been on my list for a while, and it's called the Karri Lake Trail in Quinninup, which is a few hours south of Perth. I've just arrived and look at this. I mean, that view already is unbelievable. The birds are flittering about, the water is still, the sun is shining through the trees. And it looks like, so it's about 4 kilometres, and it's going to take about an hour and a half, and you just sort of, where are we? Starting there, and we're just going to walk our way around the trail. So I'm pretty excited for this one. I think it's going to be really beautiful. But I need to get a cup of tea and breakfast in my belly first. I have this issue when I come hiking that I get so excited. I just want to get out there on the track. This is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I've scoffed my breakfast down because I'm so excited. I haven't finished my tea, so I'm going to finish my tea while I'm walking. But there's a little bench seat here. Look at this. The trees are beautiful. The birds are just, it's stunning. Anyway, yes, I get so excited about coming on a hike, and I think I just want to try and get ahead of everybody else. So I do get started early, but because I had to drive here this morning like almost 2 hours, and I just stopped so many times along the way because the sun was rising. That was beautiful. I saw some mist in the hills with the cows, and that was beautiful. I thought I'll take a quick detour down this other road that looked amazing. And yeah, so I'm here later than I expected. So one group has already gone through, but yeah. Anyway, I'm excited to be out here. God, the sun through these trees, so beautiful. You've got to look at this lake, and I can hear the black cockatoos in the background. This is actually one of the most beautiful walks I've actually done, I think. I would love to get more drone footage for you, but there are a lot of black cockatoos around me at the moment, and there's a lot of like little swallow birds and other birds I've seen flying across the water, so I'm kind of reluctant to send it out over the water. So I sort of just put it up a little bit in front of me, but once I get back to the van, if I can send it up and have so I can get a higher view away from the lake, then I might do that. But yeah, I do like to try and be conscious of what's around me when I use the drone. But gee, look at this. How magic. It's just so beautiful. I think with the sun coming through all the trees as well. Oh, it's spectacular. Hopefully I've got this framed right and you can see the beautiful lake behind me. I do have a few march flies around me at the moment and they keep landing on me and biting me, so if I'm doing this, that's what I'm doing. I just wanted to take a minute to talk to you about a couple of things. There's a word that's been on my mind this trip, and it was from a book that I read many years ago, way before I even thought about van life. And I wish I could remember the name of the book or who wrote it, but I just can't. And it was about this dad, and he loved to go canoeing, and even to whitewater rafting kind of point. And he was training his daughter how to do it because they were going to do this trip that was from one point to the other. Anyway, he mentioned a word in that book, and it was a German word, and I'm probably going to massacre the pronunciation of it, but it's Fernweh. And Fernweh is like the opposite of being homesick. It's being travel sick. So it's missing that sense of adventure and being away from home. And even back then, that word just, God, it resonated with me. Obviously it did, because I still remember it, this many years later. And I often think about that word, and especially lately because I've been feeling so stuck, just with everything that's gone on last year with my van renovations, with the roof pot issues and everything. I've just been stuck in WA because that's still ongoing. And anyway, I've just been missing that sense of adventure and being away from home. And coming down south on this trip, it's just really reminded me of why I love being out here with the march flies. I've seen so many different beaches and done these hikes and just been reminded with my black cockatoos of why I do this and why I'm out here. And I I bumped into a YouTube follower and that, like last year sometime, and we had a conversation around the word influencer. And I actually hate that word influencer because when I hear that word, I think, you know, salesman, you know, trying to encourage people to buy stuff. But he raised a really valid point. He said, if you are influencing people to do good things like hug trees or pick up rubbish, want to conserve nature or protect wildlife or be out in nature for your own well-being, then that's a good thing. That's being an influencer in that case is a good thing. And I was really grateful for that conversation because it really flipped the script for me, because I thought, well, he's right. If I can encourage you to do things like that, then being an influencer is one of the best things I could do. So this is me influencing you to go out and explore, go out and find amazing places like this for yourself, and then share them with me so I can share them with everybody else. Because it's just so beneficial for you, and it may in turn, you know, benefit the environment because it may make you have more conscious decisions about your impact on the earth in everyday life. This just keeps getting more and more beautiful. It seems to be more populated on this side. I can't believe there are houses that back onto this. Ah, unreal. I don't know where I go to from here. It's telling me a walk trail's that way, but where do I go from this way? I thought it went right the way around. Follow the road back. Ah, here we go. I only walked like a few seconds down the road. Found the trail again. Some of the trees on this hike are just unbelievable in size. Like the girth of the trunk is huge. And just, you know, you sit there and think, God, how long have they been here? What have they seen in their time? Like at one point they were just like a little seedling. Then they grew to this massive thing. Amazing. Ooh. The march flies are out in force here today though. My goodness. Every time I stop I'm getting eaten alive. Aren't there venomous snakes everywhere in Australia? Wow. You see this sign? See this big pile of trees behind me? One might think that there might be a house getting built here and they might want some nice views of the lake. So they may have unnecessarily chopped down some of these beautiful old growth trees to get the view for their new house. Let's read the bit of paper if we can that's hanging off the sign. See what that says. Illegal clearing of native forests. It's a printout or a PDF of the legalities of cutting down old growth forests when you're not supposed to. West Australian Government and Department of Mines, Industry Regulation and Safety oversee these regulations. It's a bit hard to read because it's a bit weathered. Clearing is, well, the definition of clearing, legal framework, penalties. Fines can reach $250,000 with up to $50,000 per day for continuing the offences. And that's for personal individual. For corporations, it's $500,000 with a daily penalty of $100,000. Yeah, interesting. I mean, I don't know the reason behind it. It could have been that there was some bad trees here or something like that, but I would dare say it's a local resident that put the sign here and they would know if there was something wrong with the area, so that's pretty disappointing if a private person who's bought the land has cleared it for their own view of the lake. It's pretty disgusting, actually. I'm actually just so upset about that. Look at that side of the river and how beautiful those trees are. And now they get to see those beautiful trees. That's what they wanted to see, but they've cut down these beautiful trees in order to see those beautiful trees. Make it make sense. And you can see that there's more clearing up the back there, which indicates that there might be a house getting built there. It's such a tough one because I understand that, you know, we do need to clear trees for housing and, you know, we do need wood for housing. But, you know, there are more sustainable ways of doing it. And, you know, when you're clearing trees that are hundreds of years old, it's not really the right thing to do. We've got better practices than that now. And look, you know, it is a beautiful area and hell, I'd love to have a house here too. And it's one thing to cut down trees to build a house, but to cut down trees for a view, that really gets my goat. That is unnecessary, and I can see why that person put that sign there, and good on them for trying to bring attention to that. And I don't know, God, it's really upset me today. Such a beautiful hike. But I suppose, you know, that's what these videos are about too. It's that contrast, right? You know, I've first of all shown you this amazing sight, these beautiful trees. I'm gonna get upset now. The black cockatoos that use the trees. you know, there have been a few examples of that happening throughout Australia over the last few years. And I know there was one on the east coast, might have been in New South Wales, and maybe Bondi, I don't know, I can't remember exactly. But someone did cut down, or they poisoned a tree, so they do it stealthily. So they just like ring bark the tree down the bottom, or they poison it with something, and then the council has to take it down. And what the council did, in retaliation, they put a massive sign up in its place so that it ruined the view for whoever poisoned the tree, so they still couldn't see past. And I thought, good on you for doing that. But I think one of the reasons they did that is because I've heard another scenario where this couple were building a house out on this bit of, like, it was a massive bit of land they had, but it was in a national forest, and they cut down way many more trees than was actually approved. And so unfortunately the legal battle went on for years with the council, and the council had to give up in the end because it was costing them more in legal fees to try and fight them and fine them and get money out of them for what they did. And that's what really bugs me in those situations, you know, because everything comes down to money, doesn't it, you know? I think there needs to be more action taken than that, and I hate the legal system is that way, you know, like, why does it have to be so hard? It shouldn't be that hard, you know. It should be, let's just take it to court, give evidence, have someone who is bipartisan, you know, make an actual decision. It shouldn't be that hard. Anyway, that's my gripe for the day. I might actually ring the local council and just find out a bit more information on it and just see if those people will be fined. Well, anyway, let's leave this video on a lighter note. That was an amazing hike. It was so beautiful. It took me 2 hours, and that was with a lot of stopping and filming. I can't recommend that hike highly enough. It was just stunning. The trees were amazing. The wildlife was amazing. Sorry, I'm back by a busy road now. The lake was so beautiful. The marsh flies were horrible. But yeah, definitely add it to your list. The Karri Lake Trail in Quinninup. So I did actually ring the Shire of Manjimup, which is the shire that Quinninup falls under, and I got a lady on the phone, and as soon as I said to her that I had done the trail and I came across what I thought was some illegal clearing, she said, yep. And so she knew straight away what I was talking about. The tone in her voice sounded like the Shire knew what I was talking about, and that none of them were very happy about it. I tried to say, so you can confirm it was a legal clearing, and she didn't really want to say anything else, and it's probably because there is legal action being taken. So she told me just to go online and Google it, and I'll be able to find information. I can read through the Shire minutes, and I did actually spend like an hour or two searching online, trying to go through their recent minutes, but I just couldn't actually seem to find anything. So that's about the extent of the information I have, and I just hope that, yeah, that there's an outcome for this, that, you know, that there is going to be no good outcome because what's been done has been done. But I hope that there's some impact on their lives for what they've done.